Hi, this is Nayella. Thank you so much for joining me again today. So today what I would like to do is talk to you about the sensitive child, because obviously I am sensitive, I am very empathic, and I was a sensitive child. I do want to point out straight away, I am in no way blaming or shaming, that is not my style. I just go into things deeper to understand them in the hope that we can all learn from this and move forward, and hopefully the next generations won't have to go through the same kind of pain and upset and confusion that we did. So when I do talk about parents and ancestors and things like that, it's not pointing a finger in any way, because they didn't know a lot of things that we do. They weren't in a place of having so much information around them that we do now. So it's not blaming or shaming at all. It's just understanding it so that we can move forward. So obviously I'm going to be speaking from my experience a lot, and from my viewpoint and from my understanding. If you have been a sensitive child, or you are a parent of a sensitive child, then please leave a comment, because I would love to know your experience of it, and hopefully we can all learn from the sensitive child together, because it's an amazing gift within itself, but it does bring forward a lot of a lot of obstacles. So a sensitive child, they've got this amazing ability of being able to feel things very deeply, feel things very, very strongly. They actually can feel emotions of others, and like empaths, it's pretty much the same thing. There obviously is a little bit of crossover here with being empathic and being very sensitive. So we've got this feeling other people's emotions, feeling other people's pain as if it is their own. They're very scared of hurting other people, because they will feel it, they will feel that, so they will do everything they can to avoid causing pain to another person. Sounds, they can actually feel some sounds in their body as well, and that can pose a lot of issues when you are going out in public, outside, and also in social settings as well. Textures as well, it can, that certain textures that is just going to cause a little bit of a problem. Sometimes tags on clothes, it'll be really, really scratchy, and I remember me as a child, knitted clothes, the wool, it would really affect me. So yeah, certain textures, certain sounds, emotions. So obviously when you go out in public, we've got so many different people all going through so many different things. There's all kinds of different emotions, all kinds of different sounds. So it can get very, very overwhelming, and many sensitive children, they will experience anxiety because of this social anxiety, because of these feelings. Also, words, they will feel certain words, because I don't feel like a lot of people fully appreciate, but words do come with their own unique vibration. And if you've got people around you, or parents that are using very harsh words, that child will feel that vibration, the harsh vibration, and it will hurt that child. And that is the message really that these sensitive children are coming with, is just to be more mindful really of actions, be more mindful of words, and to drop in your heart a lot more. I believe that my ancestral line, from feeling into it, is that on both sides, for a long time, there's been this long line of very empathic, very psychic, very sensitive people, but it all got too overwhelming, and obviously in the past they were seen in a very different light. And I know in a lot of places still, when you are seeing things that a lot of other people can't see, when you are feeling things that a lot of other people can't feel, there is a lot of stigma attached to that. So because it did get very overwhelming, what happened is there was a closed down of emotions. There was a lot of closing down emotionally and a caging off of the heart for protection. They were trying to protect themselves. So there's been a lot of not wanting to stand out, not sort of wanting to hide and cover up how you was really feeling, and not speak up. And that has definitely been a pattern playing out in my life, and now I fully understand it is because there's been a lot of sensitive children who have then been in a family of closed down emotionally adults because they were sensitive children, and a lot of harsher energy because there's been a lot of hurt, there's been a lot of pain. So the message from the sensitive child is really just for all of us to be a lot more mindful, because in one way the world is getting harsher, it's getting more closed off of the heart, and we're really going into our mind a lot more, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But if you are just being very logical, very analytical, then we're not feeling into things, we're not being empathic, we are maybe not appreciating the words that we are using so much, and it is causing a lot of pain, especially to these sensitives and these empaths. They're taking it on like a sponge. They're filling up, they're filling up, they're filling up, because they don't know a lot of these children, and even a lot of adults don't fully know how to transmute that energy, to release it and let it go. So then what we have is a lot of illness, sickness, ailments going on in the body because we've got all this trapped energy. As a child, we tend to, see ourselves as one unit. The child and the parent will be as one unit. So when you have got parents around you who are in a lot of pain, who do have a lot of unresolved trauma, and are hurting themselves in some way, be it just being overcritical to themselves, seeing themselves in a not good light, or in other ways, the child will be taking that on as their own, and they will be trying to suck out a lot of that pain, unconsciously, because like I said, it is like a sponge. They will be sucking that out of the parents, and obviously getting full because they haven't been taught how to transmute it. So that is why there is a lot of sickness going on in children that are very sensitive, that are very empathic. It's just because they're getting very full, because obviously there's a lot of pain going on around them, and that's that is what I found anyway for myself, going deeper into my history, into my life. And I have obviously been doing a lot of research into words and their power. So please go back to my video Words and Water, because Dr. Emoto did a lot of research into this, and he found some amazing things to do with with freezing water. When it had a certain signature, when it had a certain word to it, it would produce different crystals. So please look into that because it's really interesting. What I also found is that many humans walking the world right now are actually walking with a vibration of 200. So we're full to the brim of emotions such as guilt, shame, we've got a lot of anger going on, there's a lot of grief, and we are projecting a lot of hate onto ourselves, which in turn is then causing a lot of inner conflict. And we're seeing that same kind of conflict going on in the world, you know, so as well as it being inner, it's going on outer. And that's why we are seeing a lot of war, because we're at war with ourselves, really, because we're so full of pain. The amazing thing is when we can start releasing that trapped energy, when we can start letting go of it and healing and forgiving as well, and raising our vibration up, something quite amazing can happen. If we can stay in a higher vibration, love is 450 on the vibration level. So if we can hit love and stay strong in love for a long time, and stand in our own power and stay strong and love ourselves and emit that love out to others as well, one person that is vibrating at 500 or higher can positively change the frequency of those that are 200, and it can lift actually 750,000 people. So if you are in a place of love, you are standing strong in that love energy and admitting that love energy out from the heart, pure love, you can actually influence and help raise the vibration of 750,000 people. Can you imagine if we all cleaned up our act, if we all were more mindful of our words, and if we all started healing and growing and feeling much better about ourselves, how much better this world would be? We would be able to build a much brighter future for our children. They wouldn't have to go through the same kind of pain and upset and confusion that we did, because when we are full of these lower level emotions, when we are using these lower level words, this is why pain can turn not only into physical illness but also mental illness as well. If we can all learn to transmute that energy, because that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to flow through us. We're not supposed to hold on to it. But many of us, like I said, we haven't been taught that. And if you don't know something, you don't know it. So, you know, there's no point blaming or shaming anybody. It's just that these things weren't given to us at the right time. But we can do something about it now. We can help each other through this now. And we need to listen to these sensitive children, because they come with a very important message. When they are playing out, when they are reacting, we need to not shut them away, not push them away, but to bring them in and to listen to that action, to listen to that reaction, so that we can understand the root of where it's coming from. You may have said something very, very innocently and didn't mean to cause any harm, but it may be just a little wake-up call to yourself that maybe what you are saying either to yourself or about yourself isn't in the best light, and you need to be more loving to yourself. That could be just the simple message. So don't beat yourself up, don't feel bad about anything that you have done up until this point, because that's silly. There's no point doing that. But you can move forward into a better way and listen to these sensitive children a lot more, because words do hold power, and the more we can use the higher vibrational words the better our world will be. And the more we can understand that it's okay to feel these feelings, it's okay to feel these emotions, we just need to let them flow through us and not hold on to them, because it's this holding on that is causing pain, it's this holding on that is causing emotions. And that's why there's so many people walking around with just that vibration of 200, because they're, like I said, they're full of all these lower level emotions. So when we can learn to let them go and push out this love and feel that love for ourselves, because we all are so beautiful, we're all so amazing in our own unique way. We're just overlooking ourselves, and it's such a shame because we've all got so much to offer to the world. So I'm going to leave that with you today. I'm wishing you all the very, very best. I'm sending you all my love. I hope that has helped in some way, and I will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye for now.